yeah, we learned quick, like, the Taliban was a whole nother fucking animal. Like, they were shooting, moving, and communicating almost better than us. And, you know, like, we had dudes, like, from day one be like, done. Whoa. Like, didn't sign up for this.
Really?
Like, yeah, I think my platoon went from, like, 34 to, like, 23. Like, dudes were like, permanent tower guard. Like,
oh, no.
Like, yeah, and like, out of pure, like, fear. And, like, I remember my first firefight, like, April 16th. Like, looking over at my, like, platoon sergeant, I'm like, yeah. And he's like, this isn't Iraq. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, and, like, I'm, like, clearing his dump pouch. And, like, it was madness. And we did our jobs. And, like, you know, some dudes didn't come home. And some dudes, like, still to this day are, like, they're so mentally unstable, like, or have taken their lives. And that deployment left me in a place that was like, my job's not done. So came home, got hooked back up with these guys. You were just deploying with Mountain Company.
Yep.
I came back and started like being a training NCO, since I was like the most recent person, or maybe the only person who had gone to Afghanistan. And I tried to convince Capaldi to come, and, you know, he wasn't in the right headspace and timing for that, and he backed out at the last minute.
Really? You never told me that.
Yeah, he like we it was me, Cook, Dave. What's up? If you're watching,
Cookie.
And yeah, he just like he battled it, like, because he was so torn with what happened on like your guys' deployment.
It's interesting. He never told me that. Huh?
He was like right there, and he you know. Not saying it would have helped or made it better, but yeah, he didn't come. And
yeah, you can only say it might have prolonged stuff, but like, I don't know. Capaldi was Capaldi. That's kind of what we came.
I'm so shocked because, dude, we were really trying to get back into it, like, because my hip is fucked. I can't run, you know, like,
Right.
Like, so we were like, and like, you know, he's got PTSD, so it's like we're literally like, we're just gonna sell everything we have and just like go to Syria, like cash. You know what I mean? We're gonna find a fixer. Like we were about. He's like,
Tobiasen.
Oh God! Don't even bring that fucking name up,
Dude, we'll get to there.
Yeah. We got put a fucking pin in that one, because that's a fucking story.
Yeah, but like I came home from that deployment just like having my world rocked, but not even knowing my world was rocked, and being like, hold on, this unit's gonna go back overseas. Like, we need to make sure we're like, if I can teach them everything I possibly fucking know, like, I need to do that.
Right.
And like, my leadership style was definitely like, I'm gonna kick your teeth in until you grow new ones.
Yeah.
Because like that's what Afghanistan did to a lot of us. And I was like,
Yeah.
mentally, I'm gonna break you so Afghanistan doesn't break you. And that was my mentality. And like, you look at some guys like Pilkington.
Yeah. You had quite the crew. Young
I made people fucking quit the army. And like, I'm proud of that, by the way, because they wouldn't have survived.
There's nothing wrong with that at all, though.
No, like,
especially the infantry.
You gotta have a body count.
And, and yeah, I just like that was my way of like thinking. I was helping these guys. Like, if I break them or if I don't break them, Afghanistan won't break them.
no, absolutely, you're right. Yeah.
And you know, it got me in with like a little bit of trouble with once we got broken up into our PRTs and whatever, and I got moved to that transportation thing, like moving around the
that's right.
people.
Yeah.
But second deployment was kind of a joke. I think we were only in like one or two like attacks, but then like
because you were originally gonna go with the Ruzgan, and then
I went to a Ruzgan, and then they were like, pack your shit. Like, damn.
Yeah, because you ended up in like in Kabul.
Right?
Like
right down from Phoenix. And then like 2 days later, my fucking squad gets blown up by a 10-year-old. Like, it's just like
fucking A.
You're just like so heated in your safe little, you know, yeah.
Where was this?
That was in a Ruzgan.
Yeah, that was one. I think we had talked about it originally. It was who the hell? I can't even remember who was talking about. It was they had like a suicide bomber, like essentially 10-year-old kid that was like freshly shaven, like. You know,
like all the signs that like we do.
Yeah, like heavy garments, weighted trucks, and that shit went out the window.
No, like this kid, like, and I saw the video, and that's why like it kills me, because, you know, like, you can only teach people so much, and like that squad, like the only person who had ever deployed was Riondo.
Yeah.
And after I left, like dudes were like what the fuck, like the only other team leader like who's ever been here is fucking gone. And then literally the PSYOP guys or whatever, like one of them had a helmet camera and like turned, and this kid's in clean ass white gown, like fucking baby smooth, like got to use soap, and I'm like.
Yeah.
No one was like, that kid looks different from every other dirty bitch around here.
Like pure white.
Yeah. Like, oh, dude, like I'm talking
In
about
a
like
sea of dirt, it's just like this white.
yeah, and like
I think he fucked up the Navy corpsman and like
the Navy corpsman, the fucking
other Navy
Australian
guy.
dude. There was
Yeah.
a Marine guy who got his fucking whole butt blown off.
Was this in 2010?
This was my
11, 12.
11, 12.
Okay.
But yeah, so like second deployment, I was like, man, I'm not back in it. I need to fucking help. Like, I need to get back in there. Like, my safe place was being back at war.
Yeah.
So 30 days home, got a call from Colonel Burns, I think his name was, who was the liaison for the Guard at SOCOM in Tampa. And it was like, hey, this guy, Sergeant Pine, is going to set up a 6-man team. And your name came up. Do you want to go back? And I was like, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I was already back overseas before some of the Charlie Company guys were even coming back home.
Yeah.
Like, I was already, like, slapping hands, like, I'm going back.
Right.
And they're like, you're fucking retarded. I'm like, got to do what you got to do. And that was, like, a sexy mission. That was, like, supposed to be my deployment that set me up. Like, you know, if we were on the movement team for the Special Operations General, who was in control of all of Afghanistan. You know, we met, you know, all the
senators and
all
like,
the spooky
all these
people,
yeah.
you know, like, you know, hanging out at like places that don't exist kind of shit. And, you know, I had my career like mapped out there, like letter of recommendation, like, here you go. Got home, got smoked by a drunk driver with Costa. And then just like, cause I was hurt, I just turned into a turd and became a civilian. And fucking
Injuries will do that.
yeah, right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's. I mean, it sucks to think about now, but like, you know, almost like a blessing in disguise. Like, you have a giant career. Like,
yeah. Like, I'm
did a lot of
definitely
good
not
shit.
mad at it, but like, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
as
you
like
never know.
as Russia might be like ramping up, you're like,
Yeah, they need some guns over there. Yeah.
Do I?
yeah. Like, I don't think I ever signed that medical discharge paperwork. But yeah, I mean, I basically, like, after my first deployment and what it did to me, I felt like the only place to heal what was going on inside of me was like to get some kind of payback overseas, like, you know, fucking rain.
I wonder if anybody doesn't have that feeling.
Yeah.
Like, even like the Morse kinetic like deployment, like I felt like you know, when we went, you know, we got into some stuff, whatever, we got blown up a couple times, but like it was, you know, you just you weren't able to dish out what you got, and you're like, fuck, like, god damn it, like, need to do this again.
Yeah.
But
Like, yeah, that first contact, you're like, fuck, I should have did this. And then, you know, like, our deployment, like, and I do vaguely know what your deployment was like, because, like, we were close enough where I could hear that shit on the radio if you were, like, if we had, like, tax sat up, and be like, damn. Because when we got to internet, I'd fucking message Capaldi, be like, yo, you guys got into it last night? He's like, oh, yeah, we did. I was like, I listened to that shit on the radio. He's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, you know that's right. And he's like, dude, it was wild. Yeah. But, yeah, like, that first deployment just, like, left, like, a place, like, you're, like, you felt like you were doing something on that one, and then, like, but you didn't feel like you did enough.
Right.
And then, you know, dudes came home, and, like, I was, for a long time, off Facebook, and, like, now I'm back on it because I started the business Ranger Charters, and, like, Facebook is a pretty good platform, and, like, I'm seeing all these dudes from 2009, 10, like 11, and I'm like, oh shit, life has not been good to you. Or, like, you know, you find out, like, dude, that guy died, like, that guy died, like,
Yeah.
that guy died, like, what, like,
What the fuck
what the
happened?
fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that dude, like, remember he got fucked up? Well, he's got a surgery and ate too many pills and, like, fell out of his bed and hit his head. And it's like, oh my God, like, what? Like,
The most random shit.
yeah. And then you're like, oh no, that dude, like, walked into the woods and fucking blew his head off, and you're like,
Right.
whoa,
I mean,
like,
look at Capaldi,
that dude.
Yeah.
Like Capaldi, he wasn't full of shit. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought like he would have went that way?
Yeah, no, like, and you know what, like, Capaldi was one of the, like, the treatment me and Capaldi got in the lures. Like, no, dude, I'm talking about like
hazing wasn't defined yet.
Yeah,
Hazing was
like,
not defined.
like that was
Everybody knew not to be fucking Capaldi's ranger buddy.
Put it this way.
Find a water
But there was a
source.
time where it was me and there was no other fucking options.
Dude,
Like,
Major Ahern Facebook messaged me. He goes, I posted something about Capaldi, and he was like, "Hey, I got this Capaldi memory," and he goes, Sergeant Lewis was just smoking the shit out of somebody, right? Just smoking this Joe, and then like Capaldi walks over, he goes, "Smoke me, Sergeant Lewis, smoke me!" Like,
He was relentless.
Yeah, like-
Lou could
Yeah,
he could take it and just keep going and going.
You didn't
He'd
want to get
puke
smoked with
and
Lou.
keep going.
No.
dude, I remember like fucking on the range, like Lou's doing fucking sit-ups and I'm spoon feeding him peas because like they didn't want to send back chow, and then they're like, all right, switch.
Great.
Oh no. And like
Good times.
Deech would always be like, oh dude, it's all cool, it's cool. And you're like, you're in the office with him, you're like, dude, like, fuck, man.
What
and,
the
and then
fuck?
he's like, yeah, you know, it's all good. And then he's like, hold on, where's Lateo? He was trying to fucking tell me he's all pissed off that everybody's smoking him. And it's just like, that's not what I said. And they're like, outside. Yeah. It's like, oh my God. But like, that made me the dude I am today. Like, I wanted to know everything in the Ranger Handbook. I wanted to be able to program all those fucking old ass Vietnam radios. Like, like fucking all the, because we had like the whole commo section back in the lures. Like, you had to set up fucking cobra heads between trees and
Climbing trees and running an antenna
yeah,
up.
like just some like wild shit that people fucking were like to this day would be like, you did what with what? Like yeah,
about
like
those.
rat rigs, like fucking comms checks. Like I remember me and Capaldi would have like always be like, dude, I'm not waking up Sergeant Lewis. Like, I'm not waking up Sergeant fucking Santos. Like, you're out of your fucking mind. And then like we'd literally be like, all right, let's tape the hand mics to our heads. And fucking tape them to our heads and get in our fart sacks and be like, because if you missed your comm window, the rat rig would call you Nagelhoot. Remember that dude?
Yeah.
He would call you and be like, team 3, fucking radio check. And he'd be like,
The squelch.
like, yeah, we're here. Like, sit rep is as follows. Like,
That's a smart move.
everybody's fucking sleeping. Like, don't come over here. Like, yeah, like that. But like the shit that happened in that unit, like.
Is the
like,
statute of limitations expired?
Yeah, seriously.
Might want to check on that before we edit this thing out.
No, if you're watching, you guys made fucking the ultimate fucking like dudes. Like we are all proof of the pudding. Like there was a method to the madness, and like Pilkington, like didn't tell me till like years later, but he was like, I get it. He's like, I understand.
Well, yeah, because you don't get it until you have Joes.
Yeah,
and then you're like, you want these Joes, like the Joes are your bread and butter too.
Yeah.
Like, so you're like, you got to make a fucking team or a squad that fucking works.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're fucked.
Dude, when I reclassed, I got chewed out by the class teacher. So I was like one of the only E5s there, so I was a class leader. And like, so there's an airman, she's falling asleep in the beginning of the class. So this is their AIT, and I'm reclassing, you know? So it's their AIT, and she's like falling asleep. So I get up, I go in front of class, and I slam my fist on the table. She freaks out. I'm like, "Are you awake?" She's like, "Yes, Sarge." I'm like, "Good, stay awake." You know what I mean? I didn't smoke her.
The hardest thing you could do all day is stay awake.
Dude, I got chewed out so hard by the class teacher. Well, not so hard, but she was pissed.
you can't treat people like
We don't do that in the Air Force. No, well, she was like, "This is the learning environment." But yeah, no, I feel you.
Like, you want to know what my learning environment was?
Dude, I got smoked in Afghanistan, man.
Well,
That's how it
damn.
is. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, dude.
And I didn't even fuck up. My battle buddy fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, go find your battle buddy.
No, and like I have to admit too, like came home from the first deployment, got a chance to go back to Ranger School, fucking went through Ranger School, and like then I came home even more pissed off, and I'm like, that shit sucked. and all of you are gonna pay for it. Like,
You're gonna learn today.
yeah,
That's exactly what he was saying. He was like, I was such an angry corporal.
yeah. No, and like,
Well, yeah, that was the deployment though. Like, 'cause-
I wasn't there to make friends. Like, and I'm like, and like, I look back at it now. Like, I definitely wasn't the dude that was like getting a phone call to go out drinking after like. No, Lateo can drink in the dark by himself. That dude's angry.
But yeah, we also had to be a little bit more angry for that deployment anyway, because fucking we had like cooks and fucking like the artillery guys, like all these fucking people that like added it to our company because the 182 had taken all the infantry dudes, and they were like, oh, let's fill the 143rd with like whoever. I'm like, okay, cool. And so I'm like fucking dudes up that are artillerymen. Like, I'm be like, no, you will fucking perform.
I remember at camp, was it Warrior? What's a transition camp?
Yeah, something like
Anyway,
that.
up at Bagram, you guys were coming in, we were exfilling, and I remember seeing...
Oh, yeah, you guys like handed me a bunch of grenades. I
And
was like,
who
fuck
the
yeah.
fuck is that? Like, oh, he's a cook. I'm like, when did you guys get cooks? Like,
Yeah.
Men need.
I didn't even know that was possible. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh.
Like we had so many people that
well,
were
because
not.
PRT
A
was a
body is a
non-MOS.
Yeah.
It was a non...
Yeah, it was a PRT, but
Yeah.
like still. Yeah,
I
like,
don't know, man.
Yeah.
But, like,
It was tough.
especially during that time. A lot of the deployments were still kinetic. It's like, what the fuck?
But we had I mean, like those dudes, they did perform. Like it was kind of wild, like in whatever the fuck we did. But like, you know, some of those dudes are fucking hot shit. Like,
Well, good.
you know, and then some weren't.
Steven Seagal was a cook.
He fucking single-handedly like saved a battleship.
I mean, but now a lot of
With a
deployments are like Sec 4. You know what I mean? That's all you're gonna get. You know,
Yeah.
but like before, it was fucking kinetic. You know what I mean?
Well, and like, that was like my thing. Like, what happened in 9? Well, like basically all of 2010. Like, you know, like I think I went like 90 days and fired my weapon like every single day, or like was in some kind of was in some kind of like tick.
It was the best because you're like, dude, I just want to watch this movie and not kill anyone tonight.
Yeah, yeah. yeah. You're just like, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep, and then it's like, you're like, like I just got to the best part of peeing it on. Yeah, you're like,
shit on.
This is my favorite part of the Notebook. Like, you know,
I like that movie a lot.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you remember like when you'd have like team nights overseas, and everybody'd be like, "Yo, what do you want to watch?" And like, Saving Private Ryan. Everyone's like, "Nah, nah, nah." And they're like, "Oh, what about the Goodfellas?" You're like, "Oh, it's pretty good, but like what else you got?" And they're like, P.S. I love you, and everybody's like, "Oh, I mean, like, I'm not against that one." And it's like, yeah.
That girl's kind of cute in the movie, man. She's kind of cute.
I think you see nipple in that one. yeah. I mean, we can get it, right?
that's
right. Yeah.
Probably gonna fall asleep. Everybody's all like, "It's my turn for Tower Guard."
I found Vampire Diaries for the first time there.
Yeah.
Leftover DVDs. Still watching.
I watched a shit ton of Game of Thrones, like overseas. That was like the thing.
I think Dexter was mine. On
Oh,
our
Dexter
deployment,
too,
Dexter was mine. Honestly, like the first deployment, like I lost 4 computers, like blown to shit, fucking destroyed. Like, you know, we lived in fire bases most of the time with and operated out of Zormont. So like you do 30-day rotations out to your fire base, which is literally a football field in Hesco's.
Yeah.
With 1 ECP, 4 towers, 4 tents with A&A, and then like 2 tents for the Americans.
Pretty much us too.
Burning your own shit. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, you guys didn't have to burn shit.
Nope.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
like I went 65 days without a shower on my first deployment after we
Fucking
started building.
Hey, man.
We started building.
Not even a water bottle.
like
use a water bottle.
Yeah, right.
That's what I did.
Yeah,
There was plenty of water. It was piss hot. It was
Yeah.
95 degrees.
You know
Just
what?
water.
We got those prison baby wipes that come like 4 to a pack
yeah,
that
yeah.
you get all soaped up. You don't have to wash the soap off.
Right.
Like, but yeah, we were building a fire base to disrupt the movement. So like we had like Afghan contractors. We took over a village, Ibrahim Kel, I think it was called. And so like 1 platoon had to be in the village. 1 platoon had to be protecting the fucking workers and then running like day missions out into these other villages. And then one guy, like 1 platoon was the QRF or running legitimate missions or being like, you know, Task Force 310s, fucking QRF, you know, and all that bullshit. But like that turned out to be the most kinetic shit we could do because they were like, you are not putting that base here. Like everyday rocket firefights. Like IEDs on every single road in and out of that place. Like, they did not want us there, like, for a good fucking reason.
Did you guys have a balloon?
Yeah, well, Zorma had the PTIDs.
Yeah.
But, no, like, but then you go on, like, my second and third deployment, it's just like, fucking don't even need this thing. Yeah, but, like, and, like, that I think actually might have even, like, pissed me off more. That, like...
Yeah, you're thinking you're going to get back at it. And
Yeah.
then it's like, you know.
And you wait. And you wait.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And you wait.
And you
But
get
then when you
and then
do
you
get
get
hit-
and then you get blown up, and then you don't know what the fuck happened.
Right.
You're just like, oh, a guy blowing us up. That's it.
Cockroach fucking getting hit with
Yeah.
a flashlight. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
you know?
I remember like we got fucking it literally like threw the fucking MRAP like over the hole that it fucking detonated. And like and we all look around and you're like fucking nothing. You're like, what the like there's nothing you could do. Like you're just like fucked. And they knew that. Like they were fucking they knew what they were doing. Like but anyway, like I mean now that obviously like all that shit, like you built up this whole fucking place and then like at the end of it like somebody rips with you and then now it's fucking 2022 and everything's gone.
To be honest,
It's fucking
It's
crazy.
all Taliban controlled and
I'm almost positive though that once we ripped that area out, the next unit, which was the 327th Cav, which was I believe an active duty unit out of like 4th ID maybe.
yeah.
They fucked up something so bad that like they didn't bring anybody to those fire bases. Like they were like
They just
hell.
stayed right
they
at-
stayed in Zorma and
Yeah.
ran like all these missions like
Strictly out of
strictly
the fob.
out of that major fob.
It's so different
like-
too. Like you can deploy like on your deployment, like on your commanders or whatever. It's like you decide what you're gonna do, and that's what decides your deployment. Like what I mean, like you guys built up a fire base, like then they didn't like it, so you got into fucking shit. Like and then like oh well, we don't like getting fucking casualties, so let's fucking pull back. It's like what the fuck, man.
Yeah.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Well, and the other unit was like, damned if I do, because I'm not sending anybody fucking there. We'll leave the ANA there, and like the ANA was like,
I'm not staying
How much
there.
is the Taliban paying?
you guys
right
can
now?
do whatever the fuck you want coming over that mountain
Right.
right there.
Yeah.
$300. That's what the Taliban was
Yeah.
paying to
Yeah, you
bury
know,
ID.
Yeah, what's the Taliban doing right now? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go work for them. Like they didn't give a fuck. Like fuck.
You get the RPG guy with his finger on the resting on the trigger the whole time.
Sitting right on it.
I'm just like, oh,
Yeah, and like literally like bebopping through the fucking goddamn hot like waddies, like
flip flops on his shit.
But I mean, like,
Man,
like you all know, when you saw those dudes like kind of be like, you're like, what aren't you telling us right now?
Right.
Who got a phone call? What's gonna happen? Like,
Yeah.
like you're usually fucking holding the barrel with the
Like-
fucking thing
like
over your
this,
shoulder,
yeah.
like you're wearing a helmet today.
Right.
What's up? And like we noticed that, and our ANA commander on my first deployment had his whole family killed by the Taliban, and that dude was an angry Afghan man. Like we'd go into this village of Sahak, and like Sahak was the kind of place where like you drove your car in there, the truck's in there the first time, and fucking something evaporated. And then ODA 324, and this guy actually, he was on my third deployment. I won't say his name because I don't know what he's doing these days, but he ended up being the first sergeant on my third deployment. But his team came in and was like, we're going to partner with you guys because like Sahak was supposedly run by Chechens. Like, and the picture of the dude we were looking for, like, honestly, like, put another like 50 pounds on me and like covered in tattoos. Like he looked Russian. You're like, whoa, like,
You're not Afghan.
yeah. Like, and they're like, no, like they thought like this guy, they're like, we swear it's a huge Chechen, massing here or something like that. And so their call sign was zombie. And like, they'd always be like, hey, we're coming in. And we got into shit every time. But that Afghan commander, like, he was like, if I see I'm smoking them, and I'm like, do we get to smoke them? and like that, and like,
That's
and like, you're all like, oh my God, like,
Shit.
That's a little odd.
that dude's
our heart still feels for him, man. His whole entire family killed.
Right.
oh, dude, like I watched him beat his men like for not performing.
And
on
how old
missions.
was he? Because he'd probably went
Oh.
through 79 with the Russians.
Honestly, he was fairly young, so like maybe he was like a boy.
So, all right, so his father went through.
Yeah.
You know, the bear came over the mountain, 79,
Because
80.
when we left, he gave us all the Mujahideen hats, and like we saved a couple of their guys. He gave me this like AK-47 bayonet. You know, like he's like, I know you'll never get a medal from my government, but here's my medal to you. And I was like, dang,
That's fucking bad.
That means more than a little piece of fabric.
Yeah.
And tin.
Like,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, this dude's mentality was like, I'll fucking stay and fight with you. But then he had some dudes. You were like, let me see your cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Who are you talking to?
yeah, and then it's like crazy, like, you know, one mission we were walking in, and all of a sudden it's like, they're like, don't move, and it's like me, this dude Harrison, and this kid Pycott, and the platoon sergeant Kieran, and we look over, and this fucking Afghan's like holding a D-cell battery, and the red wire is like just dangling off the white one, and he's like, and we dig it up, and it's like, dude, it was like 3 Chinese 80 millimeter fucking mortar IED, and we're like, damn, we almost just got smoked.
Right.
And then it was like, how did you know that was there?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I saw it. It's like,
Yeah. Bullshit.
no, you didn't.
Hey, random question, right? Because you're saying all this stuff, it's just popping up stories in my mind, like children suicide bombers and shit like that, right? What when you think of your deployment, right? What's something that just really pops in your mind, like just you just forefront of your thoughts? Just curious.
August 22nd, when Alpha Company of the 172nd got, like, it was supposed to be one of the largest valley clearing missions. 20th Special Forces from Florida was on it, and we got the call like one KIA, and they're like, I remember my squad leader was on leave and my team leader was on leave, so I was like second in charge, and I just remember like getting everybody ready, like fucking PZ posture, like we're getting on the birds, and our bird just like gets called off, and we're like, where's that fucking thing going? Like, we got to get there.
Yeah.
And like the battalion commander felt like he needed to be on the ground to assist the situation. And like, then we got call number 2. The second guy got fucking smoked, and the second guy had a chance. You know, he was like, it was a neck wound, came out his side, and they were stuck though. They were like, everybody who went to try to get him was like either pinned down in a new position or, you know, or was shot. And when we finally got on the ground, we like just get to their platoon, and like, I'm talking about like, I couldn't tell you what this guy looked like to this day. His face was like ripped off by like RPG shrapnel. He's just like, you fucking go up there and you save him. And like, and it was just like, you know, like, we'd already been in country now for like 8 months, but like that was like in countless of firefights, but like that day, just like seeing those like Restrepo style photos that like, I'm literally like,
Right.
dudes are so just, they're ghosts, you know, they're like, you know, and then watch like the fucking carrying the bodies down the mountain was like, you know, we do Rescue Randy in Ranger School, and like this was like, it was real this time, you know, and you're just like, like, fuck. And then all of a sudden it was just like over. It was like it never happened. Like they just decided to stop fighting, and like the aircraft wouldn't come back and pick us up. They're like, no, we got so much movement in the mountains. Like you guys are fucked. Like when the daylight comes, like get ready. And sure enough, it happened all over again in the morning. And a flight crew chief got left on the ground, like fell off the tailgate of the 47.
What the fuck?
And like there was still a platoon on the ground, but like,
Yeah.
like that's what I'm talking about. Like we got into this bird, and like dudes were falling on brass. Like, like what? And they're like, going out is gonna be just as bad as coming in. It's just like, yeah, that was like, oh no shit, like war, you know. And we had been doing war, and like we'd been in firefights, and you know, like rounds like impacting the wall inches from your face, watching tracers burn out. But like, no, like that dude came up, handed me a shotgun, and was like, go save him. I was like, what am I gonna do with a fucking shotgun? Like, but he was so fucked up. He was so fucked up.
Shock.
Yeah. And then like, you know, the bottom line is like, dudes weren't the same. Like those guys, as you know, some of them never never recovered. Like to this day, like you look at them and they're fucking just, you know.
Like, how do you move on?
Yeah, like shells of themselves or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't know. Yeah. But like wherever that dude is, like I hope he's doing fine, because the day I met him, and he asked me to save his guys, like you would have thought he was inches away from death. Like I don't even think he had a nose. Like his shit was just like shredded meat.
Yeah.
But like that like that's what I'm saying. Like that first deployment wasn't enough. I needed to do more, and I thought like the second, and I thought the third, and like really in the long term thing, like not coming home and decompressing for even 6 months or 8 months, or like, and I'm talking about like no military, like no going right into Ranger school, going right into like fucking all the other bullshit schools, like. But at the same time, like I think it's almost needed for some guys, like to stay in that mentality, like. And that's like the downfall of the Guard. It's like, thanks for doing a year. Your deployment was wicked shitty. People died. Like, go be a civilian.
Yeah, ghost it.
You know, like
yeah, because we had talked about it before. Like, you go to the fucking yellow ribbon, right? You go to this fucking stupid fucking bullshit yellow ribbon, right? Hey, all the people fucking okay, they're trying real hard to fucking do shit, but like, you go to a yellow ribbon, it's like 30, 60, 90 days or whatever the fuck. You're on leave for fucking 60 of it, so you're just like, whatever, you know. But like, there's no, like, I remember when like, we got back from our first one, they were like, oh, like the first fucking speaker was like, hey, you didn't bring everybody home. Like, sorry. Like,
no shit.
what the fuck are you, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Way to go.
Yeah, we did.
Right.
Yeah, we fucking ran over our dude. Like, yeah, thanks.
Right.
Like, good. Yeah, that's a real good start to it all. And, like, but like my thing was like, and I think I've said it before, like, keep people on active duty for like X amount of time when they fucking get back to like fucking figure it out. Like do a 9 to 5, like do a fucking, you know, or a fucking 7 to fucking 2,
A true
you know,
transition.
where you're just like, hey, you're on orders, but you're fucking still here, and then go on your leave.
Right.
You know, like fucking at least fucking get some, because like everybody disperses, everybody's fucking gone. Like for your case too, like you deploy with all these people that like.
I was even friends with.
Yeah, you didn't live there.
No.
Like you weren't even like a part of that fucking unit. Like so, then you literally have to just like, okay, see ya, bye.
Yeah.
You know, a fucking year of my life, I'm fucking dependent on you my whole life to do this stuff, and then like, boop, gone.
Friends. Yeah.
And what's crazy is like,
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of them like months later at a wedding, and I remember like my team leader was there, and he was like, I'm with, you know, my wedding date, and like the first thing she hears out of his mouth is like, dude, remember how many times you almost died? It's like, and she's like, what is he talking about? I'm like, oh, go away. And he's just like, and then like, but then like after he said it, he didn't laugh, and I was like, you all right? Like, you know, and then like the kid who got married, like same thing, like he's good now, but like I'm talking about he did everything. He was in a dark place, like writing fucking crazy poetry, like, and like putting it on social media. So it's like, is that like, do you need my help?
Right.
Is this a vent? Are you like, what's in your hands right now?
Right.
Are you like, am I going to talk to you tomorrow? Like, and a lot of those guys didn't go back on another deployment. And like, who knows? I might have been one of those guys if I fucking did sit at home and fucking do whatever. But like, because Poland asked me, he's like, you don't need to go back. And I was like, fuck, I don't. Like, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you gotta. It's almost like you like. I remember like just from my experience when I got back, like I fucking got fucking. I don't remember like 3-4 months, like just fucking did my shit or whatever, and then like I got fucking snapped in reality when I got a fucking DUI. like, and then I was like, oh. Like I have to deal with this. Like what?
Like that's
what the
how
fuck?
you have
like,
to grow up.
Oh wow, great. I mean, like thank God I got a DUI because I think it saved my life because I was like on this fucking path of like just fucking destruction.
I'll for the internet and whoever watches this here, like my wife, Caroline, is probably the only reason I am here today. Like, she dated me unknowing any of my history, like, knew I was military, but, like, didn't know anything. And, like, finally was like, stupid fucking idiot Ian, go get help. And I was like, shit's lame. You know, she's like, go. I'm fucking done with you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done. And, like, I wasn't even drinking. I quit drinking in 2017. This is sober Ian, like, being told by their significant other, like,
When did you go get help?
dude, I went fucking cold turkey drinking in 2017. I moved to Florida, moved into an RV, and literally, like, just locked myself into this thing. Yeah. Sweat for about 3 months, did some skydiving in between, but, like, if I wasn't working, I was in that RV, like, going through, like, 17 t-shirts a day. And then, like, woke up one day, I was like, fuck, I never need to drink again. Like, rock and roll. Like, went back home to Newport. Life was good, met my wife. But, like, the demon, you know, the lingering fucking, the snappy, like, 1 second you're like, ha ha ha, and the next thing you know, you're like, I'm gonna fucking start
Piss
killing
the fuck
people.
off.
Yeah, you're and like, she's like, what is your problem? And I'm like, I don't have a problem. Like, you're my fucking problem. She's like, I'm not your problem. Like,
Oh yeah, the good
like,
wives will do that to you.
yeah, and I did. I started seeing a counselor in the VA, and, like, I'm not embarrassed to say it. Like,
I do. I just started this year. Yeah.
I saw one, and, like, he his name's Steve Conlon. He now works in the Chicago VA, but yeah, now I don't use the VA anymore, only because my next counselor, therapist, whatever you want to call him, it was a female, and she's pregnant, so she's on maternity leave. So I started seeing this other guy, and
It's the joy of the VA. You never know who you're gonna get.
yeah, and, like, I was fine. Like, I got to interview. I was like, no, I didn't. I wasn't like marry, fuck, kill, but, you know.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah, well, like, Steve, when he first met me, was like, and I was like,
Can't take a joke.
I was
Next.
like, yeah, I was like, you got a fucking problem? You know, he's like, no. Like, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. And the one cool thing Steve did was he brought Caroline in, and was like, listen, when Ian's saying what he really means is, and, like, you know, I like wicked bad exaggeration, but, like, she's like, oh, like, he's like, no, listen to what he just said. And she learned how to break down my anger via my words, you know, and, like, okay, I know, but, like, and it's like, all right, okay, all right, I get it. Like, we're a team now. Like, she started understanding, and, like, it saved us, and now we're married and we have a kid. But yeah, now I see this other doctor, and I actually do this shit called EMDR, where you, like, hold these paddles.
Electromagnetic.
Yeah, and they, like, zap, and then he's like, you take a breath, and he, like, asks you, like, there's, like, 3 sessions before you even start the paddle thing, but then, like, you build a team of, like, your warriors, and, like, in your that's your safe place, and, like, that's where you bring your mind to every session, and, you know, and then you pick, like, the 5 worst things that, like, happen to you in over your deployments or, like, whatever, and he makes you talk about them, and then he just stops you, and then he's like, all right, think on that, and then, like, the paddles go, and, like, it's crazy where your mind goes. Like, you're like, oh man, like, I just thought about this chicken sandwich I ate earlier for lunch. He's like, all right, what is that? You know, like, it's, but the whole point of it is, like, he brings you to, like, that worst day, but he teaches you how to, like, put the lid back on it. And when you leave that room, you're not, like, it's in here, but it's not here.
Is it like a breathing technique he does?
Like, no, it's like, maybe
You got to get with this guy, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, dude, I'm telling you, I'll give you, like,
Because
off
he's always talking about, like, he's got these fucking anger, like, just, like, loses his fucking mind.
And man,
it's
this dude's
he's looking for something. You know?
This dude's
like,
impressive, and, like, he seeks to help warriors. Like, I mean, he does everything from, like, women who are, like, fucking held captive by their significant others and beat and raped to, like, you know, like, straight up, like, murderers. Like, he does all this stuff with them, and, like, yeah, he's like, he didn't even charge me for the longest time because he's like, dude, this is why I was put here to like heal guys like us or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking pay you.
Is he still at the VA or is
No,
he like,
he's
like,
outside, but like, and he works out a deal. Like maybe like I only use VA health insurance, but like I pay this guy out of pocket, and it's not a lot of money. And like I see him every week, and it's just like, and he calls it like it finally like clicked after like my 6th session, and like, dude, I walked out of that room, and you could have punched me in the face, and I've been like, fucking, you have a good day. And he's like, dude, are you right? He's like, you're riding the wave, and I'm like, I'm riding the wave. And like, dude,
I want to ride the wave.
yeah, no, and then like, and then I didn't get to talk to him for 1 week because I was on a work trip, and like one thing, and I saw him the other day, and he's like, how he came out of his office like pretending to be on a surfboard. I was like, I'm not on the fucking wave anymore. He's like, okay, let's go, and like he gets it's fucking crazy, and I swear to God, you black out when you're doing it, but then when you walk out, you have this like wild headache, and you're fucking exhausted. And you're like, what did my mind just do? And I'll fucking tell anybody anything they want about this. And it's cool. And I believe it works.
Yeah, no, that's super helpful. Like
it's totally different. It's not like talk. Like,
well, that's the good thing is that it's a different experience.
Yeah.
Like, cause I did the VA thing. Like I had this really awesome dude at the vet center. Like he was fucking killing it. Then I slowly left, and then I was like, all right, I gotta fucking do this again. This time I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the VA. So I went to the VA, and like the chick I had was just like, it didn't work. Like it was like just not like you just don't click or whatever.
There's no relation.
And then like that was almost the exact time that like Terry called me. And he's like, hey, you want to do this fucking podcast? We'll talk about shit. And I was like, I don't want to talk about shit. like, fuck that. Like,
I was like, I need to talk about this.
And then I start talking about it. And honestly, like, dude, this has been my therapy for like a while now. Like, where I'm just like, this is like, it helps. It just helps like get everything out there and hear other people's like kind of experience with it. And like Ian, your experience is like obviously more than like a lot of people, but you like having a different experience or having a different type of therapist, like
game changer.
That's fucking huge. Like instead of just like talking on a couch, like it's like, hey,
you
like,
talk on a couch, but like I'm telling you, I don't walk out of there and I'm like,
what just happened?
Did you just touch me inappropriately? I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Just
but
that
like
feeling.
you're just like, and like my wife is always like, well, what'd you talk about? I was like, I can't. I don't know how to explain it to you. And she's like,
okay.
well, did you talk about me? Yeah. Like, no. Like I swear on our newborn child, I have no fucking idea what happened in that room. But like, I'm feeling good. Like just fucking,
that's crazy.
And
it's crazy when you find a good person because like I remember like finding this like the one good guy I had at the vet center, and like he like fucking wrote some shit on a whiteboard, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit's fucking like perfect like thing. And I'm like, I can't even think of it now, like what the fuck it was. But I'm just like that like made so much sense.
It resonated in
like,
you.
and I was just like, oh, yeah. That's fucking good. So,
but no, this dude's this type of therapy or whatever is a whole nother animal. And
what was it called?
EMDR.
EMDR. And is it like local, like a local
Yeah,
dude?
this dude in Providence.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know what his clientele list is, but like he knows several other people that do it also, and it's
No
it's
shit.
I'm
That's awesome.
like, if you got fucking demons, which regardless of military history, like I know all of us do. Like I try to kill myself. I'm not embarrassed to say it. Didn't obviously work, but like yeah, I mean. That dude definitely has like wiped that. Like I'm not the problem. Like me leaving is not solving. And it's wild. I'm telling you, the headache you get out when you walk out of that room is like you're like, fuck, am I dehydrated? Like what's going on? Like,
so did you find Ranger charters after these sessions, or when did that come about? Like when you wanted to give back and help other dudes?
No, that started during COVID. Like my industry, what I do as like a full-time job.
Yeah.
Like is in entertainment. So like that COVID fucking wiped us out. And
Because you're like a tech, right? Like
yeah, I do all the power for like Coachella and like all these big music festivals.
Oh yeah, like just Coachella. This little thing. I do the power for Coachella.
Yeah, like,
These little things,
NFL
you know,
games, Coachella.
multi-million-dollar
you know?
events. I do the power for Coachella.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you can I'll hire you. It's-
Paris Hilton, you know, we
Yeah.
talk
Just these
sometimes.
little things.
Yeah, like those people aren't even that cool to me anymore. But no, like during COVID, like I got my captain's license finally came through, and like I just remember like being in Newport, like even like just the ocean has always resonated in me as a kid, and it's like, why did I go on another deployment after being on a deployment to go on another deployment? Like I was chasing something, right? Like and
Chasing the dragon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like and my dragon was like catching fish. Like, you know, you're fucking in a boat, like no one's bothering you. Like you only put people on the boat you want to fucking talk to. You know what I mean? Like
Unless you're paying me.
like I'm not gonna invite the dude that annoys the fuck out of me.
Right.
Like, and then you just like sit there, and then this happens, and then next thing you know, someone's reeling in a fucking big ass striped bass, and you're just like, you know, but like
Fuck yeah.
grown ass men, when a fish fucking like that bites, they're like, you're like, "Whoa." Like fucking keep it in your pants, you know, like, and then it's like take a picture, you know, it's like, and I'm like, maybe for 4 hours you didn't have like some shitty thought in your mind.
Yeah.
And the ocean fucking,
And you're just
and my
navigating
boat.
that boat, and you're just chasing the school, and
like
putting lines tight.
yeah, and like when they get off, they're just like,
That was the best thing ever, bro.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, I know, it saved my life. Like the ocean, like this, like, you know, and it's
We definitely need more of that in the veteran community, the first responder. Like, there's a ton of police and fire that toe that suicide line, and too many that cross the line. So
Yeah.
what you're doing with your business is huge, man. So
like, I'll run my boat for free if it fucking keeps someone from doing something wild. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Can I ask you real quick? So like I sell t-shirts, right? And I didn't connect the dots at the time, but I think I went so hardcore with the t-shirt business because like I needed a new mission. I needed something. It gave me like a mission or purpose. Is that what you feel like for your business?
yes, 100%. Like, and even with like the entertainment side shit, like, you know, the industry's not going back. It's not going down, I should say. Like all these production companies that lost millions of dollars, like they want to throw every kind of music festival in the world right now. And like, even if like I could hire a guy who like, you know, wants to travel and just like see the United States, because like he came from like shitty old North Smithfield and never been on an airplane besides going to basic training, you know, like, and see the world and work and like have a purpose, like, you know, like I'll fucking hit me up, I'll hire you, like, or anybody want to go on a fishing trip, like when I'm home, fucking boat's gassed up and ready to go. Like it's all about
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up.
Rangers Charters, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Ranger Charters.
And like,
Newport, Rhode Island.
I have
Ranger
a mission
Charters.
statement on my website that says from the front lines to tight lines, you know, like
I like
we
it.
pride ourselves on service.
Yeah, I like
like it's just a lot of fun, you know? Like
There literally is nothing better than being out with some homies and getting underway. Because you're ball busting. Oh, who's going to catch the first fish? Who's going to catch the biggest fish?
yeah.
Oh,
Who's
you
like-
and then when you get back and you didn't even catch one. You fucking-
Right. Like, all you caught was a buzz, you loser.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great day. Even a shitty day of fishing is
Yeah,
a
it's still
great day.
good.
Yeah.
When you're with your crew, it's just, I was telling you earlier, it was September, it was late season. Me and a few buddies, both prior service, great dudes. We took a ferry out to Block Island, went on a charter out of Block Island, and couldn't find a striper to save our lives, but we filled our black bass, sea bass.
Yeah.
And it was just like getting that right feel. And we had a good captain. He's like, no, let it out a little further. and then it just became the best day ever.
Yeah.
Like you're with your homies, that you all have that camaraderie. You can all relate. You can bust balls, have a few brews, and it's just fishing is. We're so lucky. The majority of the country doesn't have the ocean as a resource like we do.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Like lake fishing. I think it's so fucking boring.
Yeah.
I do. It's like I get it, but
it's so funny too because I never grew up fishing. Like I was just I fished when I was like at my wherever, some lake. You go fishing like, oh cool, but like it was never like exciting to an extent.
Right.
But like I remember a couple years ago I went out with my brother and he lives in Groton, and like he's a super fisherman, and we went out and like. He's the only one catching shit. I'm just like I'm like, you fucking asshole.
What you got on that line, bro?
right. Can you set me up?
He's like the same shit. I'm like, just can you just hold this while I hold it too? Like what the fuck, man? Like, and he just knows how to do it. Like he just fucking catches shit. But
Fishing is just one of those things that
great times.
If you're from Rhode Island, Mass, and you have access to it, it is a great decompressor. It really is. Especially if you get out early.
Yeah.
You catch that early sunrise. You get a hoodie on, shorts. It's just a great day.
Well, the boat is big enough too. Like we can.
What do you got for a boat?
I got a 25-foot Sportsman.
Okay.
Center console, twin 150s, plenty of fuel. Like, we can get 60, 80 miles offshore. Like where your cell phone does not work.
Get out there.
Fucking phones go dead after 6 miles outside of Block Island, and dude,
there's something a little bit pristine about that.
Yeah, dude,
just that one thing too.
Getting off the grid, literally.
Yeah, some of the best mornings are like waking up at 4 a.m, like getting to the boat, like prepping all the tackle, and then like you go pick up the clients and steaming 30 miles offshore to like go catch some like bluefin tuna and like. One of the trips, like, we literally limited out in 2 hours of being out there, and I was like, what do you guys want to do? Like, they're like, fuck it, let's go in. And we went in, and the ride home was, like, shitty. Like, the weather turned, like, shitty. And, like, these dudes are just like, I don't even care. And they weren't veterans, but, like, they were just, like, fucking pigs and shit. They were so happy.
Yeah, that they capped out.
Yeah, and then I've taken, a father and his 2 sons out, and like they had that that
memory that they're gonna remember.
Yeah,
forever.
they're like tagging me on Instagram, and I'm like, who are you? And
Free
like,
marketing.
You took me out, and but those brothers and those dads, like they were like boys, same thing. Like, oh man, I got another one on. Like at one point in time, they were my favorite charter because everybody at one point in time, at multiple points in time, like all had a fish on, and I was like, all right, like keep yours in the water for 1 second, like holy shit, yours is huge, like here, fucking take a picture, like all right, we're down.
Now you're a TL again.
Yeah.
You're like controlling fire.
Rapid fire.
You're like, all right, you hold yours, you reel yours in. I get the net on this one.
The dad was so excited he put his pole in the water. I was like, whoa, like he grabbed it. And it was just like,
awesome.
but like, yes, like people don't always like take up the offer. Like I'm dead serious. Like the fishing, the boat, like the everything is like for you guys. Like as much as I fucking love it too, but like I'm telling you, it could like if you're having a bad day and I'm home, like we'll just go out on the boat.
Right.
We'll just like the thing goes like 50 miles an hour. We'll just fucking see how fast we can go from Newport to Providence like 10 times if you want. Like it's the water's just got something else.
Yeah.
And if you're only on the boat with someone you want to be with, it's a healing process in itself. So hit me
Ask
up.
our buddies from the Navy if they feel the same way about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
I went underway for 6 months on this with this rack in my face.
Yeah.
We might have a better appreciation for the water than our Navy brethren.
Yeah. Well,
Random question though. Do you think this just makes me think of thought? Do you think because I don't have PTSD, right? I don't think I have PTSD, but for the longest time, I didn't think I had any issues until recently. Do you think most veterans in some shape or form come back kind of fucked up, and whether you know it or not, you need to find some way to cope, because I feel like if we didn't deploy, would we be the same guys having these conversations?
No, definitely not.
Right?
Not at all.
So to me, that seems like logically, yes. Whether you think you have a problem or not, there's probably issues that are underlying that you need to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I truly think that, like, you might have had issues, like, as a kid that the military highlighted.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That.
And then
Exasperated
you're like,
it.
yeah, and then you're like, unbeknownst to you. Is that a word?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It works.
If not, we can.
Is that
put it
camera
into-
out?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. These are still rolling, so I'll figure it out. So
Alright.
fuck it. Whatever.
But, yeah, no, I,
Okay,
like...
yours is good.
Yeah.
You got a good one. You should get a close up.
Except
on
I
it.
look weird as fuck. I look like I have like 0 skin tone.
you look like I'll fix that post.
That light is not doing anything
just
for your
lumberjack.
forehead.
I legit said, I said, Zach, I was like, Mike looks like a handsome lumberjack. Like, what the fuck?
But no, yeah, I like this is like we could fucking sit here till the sun comes up talking about PTSD. It's just like, were you Terry in 2008, like 28,
Yeah.
or like to now? Like the only thing different is a deployment. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
you had
variable.
to do a check on that deployment to like you got figured out. You figured yourself out. Like, you got put into a fucking another world. You had some fucking real serious shit happen to you. Like, did that make you the man you are today, or did it just help you become the man you are today? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm so sick of that, like, woe is me, feel fucking bad for me shit. Like, and that's why I think a lot of us like hide it.
Right.
Well, yeah,
But then, like,
because it's like because everybody's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
PTSD, oh God, oh, what a savage soul, what a let's fucking
Yeah,
fix you, and
yeah.
it's like no, like that's a fucking badge of honor to an extent, like you like
Yeah,
like you have to like kind of like go through it all.
I've always
you know?
said nobody leaves conflict. I used to say war, but
If you're in a fucking horrible car crash and like everybody dies in your
right,
car,
that's right.
like, yeah.
Nobody leaves conflict without a gift bag.
Yeah.
Like you take away something.
But like even if you have like a shitty job for fucking 5 years, like you're still a different person
Right.
after that.
Oh,
like
100%.
it's so
100%.
like you have to admit like you're a different person after a war or
Like,
after
even-
fucking
Even
a year overseas.
The fobbits,
I mean it's still
Well, they're
different.
the people that fucking kill me. Like, because they come home and they cry wolf, and then like you see them like get fucking publicized on like a fucking
Right, a
Patriots.
local- yeah.
A Patriots, the hero of the game is
right.
recruiting and retention officer, fucking slick sleeve, fucking
Yeah.
suck my dick. Like,
Right.
you realize, how many fucking hardcore fucking barrel chested freedom fighters are right now watching this Patriots game that will go unbeknownst because like they didn't sign up for like one of your fucking
Look
one of your
look at me,
promos.
look at me,
Yeah.
and like, dude, I
they-
did not do
yeah.
what I did for an award.
But now they won't say anything. Like
Yeah.
all those people that are like, hey, like fuck that dude. Like now they're just like, well, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking help.
Yeah, I
Fuck you.
like this
Right.
podcast the other day, and like it was a SEAL Team 6 dude, and he's like, you have dudes that ride for the brand, and then you guys have like, like I forget how he worded it. It's like you ride to get the brand or you ride for the brand.
Right.
You're either fucking Hollywood or you're hardcore. And
Yeah.
like, and I feel like that's like that line that like some dudes come home and like they get that other mission and they become fucking, Article 15 or Black Rifle Coffee or like, and then you have like other dudes who are setting up retreats in Maine that like I've never heard of, he's never heard, but like maybe he saved 4 dudes and like that means way more to everybody else than like
That one
I got a Black
opportunity.
Rifle Coffee shirt. No offense, I like their coffee, but like they're like mainstream bro vets.
I do want to at least like BRC. They just went public the other day on the stock exchange.
Oh, really?
And at least in their mission statement, their goal is to hire 1,000 veterans.
Yeah.
So I know it like
Not
the past-
a great example,
it's not,
but
it's not like that they're doing anything wrong. It's just that, like, I can see why you're saying like it's like a Hollywood
it's so
thing.
easy for
Whereas
us-
you're like, hey, I'm gonna get three dudes on my boat, and we're gonna fucking have this fucking shit, and it means more
or have 3 dudes in this room having a conversation.
yeah, and it's gonna mean more to like those people like in a heart that like. Means more than anybody like could do.
There's
like,
also-
buying coffee.
there's
Like,
also
and
nothing
I'm not
wrong-
saying there's nothing wrong with it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I think, yeah, there's a very different like stance with like
No, but
hey,
there's
the
nothing
Hollywood
wrong with
versus,
him having his first boat, and then boom, now he's got a boat out of New Bedford, and then boom, he's got a boat out of Portland, Maine.
Boats are mad expensive, dude.
Yeah, but if you're
I think
changing the lives and you're saving
Oh,
lives,
trust me, that's my goal, and my wife hates it. I look at boats every single day. I'm like, oh, this one's bigger. She's like,
that's the problem with boats.
she's like, what's wrong with your brand new one? I was like, it's not big enough.
break out another 1,000.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
but I mean,
Damn,
PTSD.
I need to have a friend with a boat.
Yeah,
Ian, what are you doing
yeah.
lately?
Yeah.
like,
But yeah, I don't like. I don't know. Like, back to your question. I mean, you don't have to have PTSD to have some kind of like. What happened to you overseas? If I'm not going to go into the story unless you go into it. But like, if you didn't come out different, like, you'd be getting studied. Like they'd be like, you're like
Psychopath.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like they'd actually probably be like, "What's wrong with you?" Like why? Like are you planning the next horror?
Yeah.
Just But Dave Cook said it to me. Like he came home expecting me to be like firing off the hip with some wise ass because Cook hated that about me. Like I was so scared of Cook that I had to know fucking everything. So like I couldn't give him a reason to smoke me, and he'd be like, "You're too fucking smart," and he'd smoke me, and I'd be like, "God damn it, that backfired," like. But he came home and he like poked it and was like, "Whoa, like what's up?" And I was just like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like I don't know what you want to like. That shit's wild. And then Capaldi walked in the office, and he was like, "What the fuck happened to you guys over there?" And it's just like, 8 months, you'll find out, man. Like,
Get ready.
cool. And it kind of blows my mind that like you two are in almost the exact same area, and like the drastic.
oh, huge difference. Like within what
You
months or the same time? I think. Right? No, like months from each other. Because you went
One full year.
You went in 10,
Yeah.
right? 10, 11, and then I did 11, 12, and like almost the same area, like literally. And it was like because I hear his stuff, like kinetic stuff and everything, and like we just got fucking blown up. Like that was it. Like we got fucking blown up. Like it was fucking. We thought we were gonna blow up every time. we fucking blew
Indirect,
everything.
fucking just
Yeah,
pop
rockets
shots.
and whatnot.
the
Sniper
dice.
fucking over things, but like no fucking like there was no firefight. There was no like this or that, and you're just like, oh well.
And that blows my
Like,
mind,
cool.
like, because I can, like, I don't think any tick I was ever in was less than 45 minutes.
Yeah, because they got all that time to just set up ammo. Dude, it's the roll of the dice. My buddy, so I was at Walter for 10 months and made friends with, people there. My buddy was there, his first deployment with this 173rd, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing, dude. It's just hit or miss,
Yeah.
I truly do think, though, like, the whole PRT mission and, like, they knew we guys, fucking the government was handing out cash. They're like, no way am I going to fuck those guys up. Like, they're
Right.
not going to give me any money.
Right.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
and that's exactly what was happening.
like,
It was
but us, landowners, like, literally, like, what's today's mission? Oh, movement to contact. You mean when the fuck are we gonna get shot at?
Yeah, right.
We drive around until they shoot at us,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And then, and then it got
Not
so,
even drive around, dude. We were
We're gonna
always
empty,
walking.
We're gonna
yeah.
empty, oh
And then
yeah.
it got
Well, you
so
guys
bad
were way
that
up in
you
the
were
mountains.
walking, and then you're
It was
like,
it.
like like, oh my god, like I could just fucking talk about like some of the craziest shit like ever. Like,
Can you explain to someone listening what movement into contact means? Who doesn't understand?
literally, like,
walk around until you get shot.
You walk around like a complete asshole.
Yes.
With like not even bounding.
Because you
between,
can't shoot discriminately for no reason.
Not even bounding from fucking structure to structure. Like literally like fucking
a Ranger file or
on parade waving like I'm here, and then it's like 400 meters, 9 o'clock. Like, do you see him? Like, no.
So you have to make yourself a target to get shot at
Yeah.
in order to shoot back at the Taliban.
Yes. And then like, I mean like, yeah, like, but that's the thing. Those dudes, like, we fought on their ground. They like, our lieutenant on my first deployment was like a super smart dude, and like studied like the Russian war like in Afghanistan, and like there was legitimately old ass maps of our area, and he's just like, where did we take contact from today? I'm like, right there. He's like, that was like where one of the best Russian battles ever happened. I'm like, dude, that's because that dude's fucking dad's grandpa told him where to fight.
it happened.
And then that dude's like, yo, this is a great spot to fight from.
Right.
Like, you know, and like sometimes the only way we knew we fucking murked people was like they'd put up those flags. You know?
Oh, dude, that's how we knew. But they were really proud of it. They were like openly holding their ceremony,
yeah.
the funeral,
They
the white flags.
bury in place.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
take the flag.
and you're like, like the next day you roll out and you're like, oh shit, I knew we got 6. And
Got
they're like,
one.
Dude,
yeah,
we
yeah.
had a firefight, right? And then so the firefight is kind of like wrapping up, whatever. We're moving back to the cop. A fucking truck, a car pulls up like a Nissan, and the guy's like, "Oh," like, the guy's bleeding everywhere, and he's like, "Oh," like we were like he was walking, he got shot. Like the balls of this dude.
Well, like that, or like you'd go up and you're like, hey, have you seen any fucking Talibros around here? And they're like, no, and you like walk 100 meters away, and then it's like, and you're like,
Where the fuck did that come from?
you know, like, you're like, did you really just shoot at me?
Yeah.
Did you really just do that? Like, hey, Lace, hey, on that building, I'll put smoke on it.
Dude,
And
how
like,
about we-
fucking?
When you hear your first round, because the Hollywood doesn't do it correctly, so you don't fucking know what it sounds like. It's like, is that a bullet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the funniest shit is that like and to this day I kick myself in the ass like I never wanted to be that fucking douchebag with a camera, with a GoPro, with like anything.
Dude, no, same here. I'm like, I missed all the firefights.
We're in war,
Dude,
motherfucker.
I would have caught
Like,
myself falling off the mountain and shit, dude.
yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm too cool. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm here to kill people.
Yeah, like dude, like put that fucking away. You're not pulling security. Like I was so scared of like Faye's and Carrigs and the Santos brothers and like and Deech's like
Get that shit off your helmet.
Yo, what the fuck? Face and knee take out. And, like, you know, take a knee and face out. Like, and it's just like I was like the lures fucking like
Fucked you.
dude,
up.
I got PTSD from the
the
lures.
lures.
like holy shit. Like thanks though. But yeah, no, like that was
In a good way.
Yeah, in a great way. Like,
Yeah.
but like, yes, I was like way too hardo to be like, I'm not taking pictures. And then I'd be like, yo, get a picture of me. You know,
Wait, you got that on video?
I got my new issue of Cry.
Yeah.
Dude, I see it all the time in public affairs, dude. I'm out there taking photos.
Play carrier. Yeah. I got multicam on. It's not even legal right now. You know?
Dude, I think of that. I used to like not beat myself, but like it was so awesome. Like I'm not lie, but like you know the moment I got shot and like I'm literally looking at the sky. I'm thinking I'm gonna die, and I throw myself off the mountain. That would be great to have on camera.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
but
I don't know how good that would have been to like relive like maybe like 5 years later you find fucking some footage
Or
but, like
maybe just
not
sell it off to Spielberg. Be like,
definitely not
There
like
you go.
right after. You don't want to like have that thing like
but
be like
at the same account, like I think if more people had videos, like you'd be like more dudes would like chill with their stories, and it's
Right.
like it. You know, case in point was when that suicide bomber blew up Keith and the boys. Like Costa never got put in for like a fucking medal. Like that dude had been in the army for like 18 months, taking my job as the team leader, and then like this happens. He's fucking doing everything I taught him. Like literally fucking getting his guys online, doing fucking sit reps, like checking fucking ace reports, everything, and like the medics fucking all ripped up, and like all these other dudes are ripped up, and like the SEAL Team 2 was at their base too, and they came out and like were patching up, but like the head of the PRT was like, we got to give the naval corpsman a like Bronze Star. And they're like, why? And they're like, we heard he was assisting in giving medical advice while he was, you know, wounded himself. And it's like, here, check out this video. He's like, I don't want to fucking die. It's like, that's not Bronze Star. And like,
Yeah, Bronze Star is like
it's a Purple Heart all day. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, like, and no offense to him, like, I've never been shot. I've been shot at a lot, but I've never been shot. So, like, I don't even know how I'd act in that case. But, like, I'd feel real fucking stupid if you gave me a Bronze Star for, like, and it read, like, for assisting in medical treatment while wounded in action. Yeah, like, but then there's, like, there was some other kid in the Navy who got, like, 4 ball bearings in the back of his arm, and like he walked into the base and like, oh dude, you're bleeding. He's like, oh, and like popped all 4 out and was like
a
good.
pimple.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good. Like, but that did never to be heard of. Like nothing. Like
So I remember when we got overseas, we did like the right seat, left seat, whatever. And we were like literally like swapping out plates with everybody, and this one dude like pulls out his plates and he's like, huh, there's a fucking round in there.
Didn't see that come in.
That's weird. And we're just like, yeah, I'll take that one. Give me that one. That's the lucky one right there. But like, it's just like, yeah, whatever, you know?
Yeah. No, and like on like this, our FO on our first one, he got shot in his side plate, which he kept his vector on for, you know, range finding and all that. And like that round that hit him in the vector ricocheted off and shot the platoon sergeant through the calf out the bottom of the foot.
Wait.
Yeah.
It hit his plate.
Ricocheted and shot the platoon sergeant. The ricochet went through, like, and like I was on leave, so like this was all like secondhand story, but like I do remember when I got home, like the AFN, right, the Afghan News Network, ANF or whatever it was, they like came to do a story on like this, you know, the FO who got shot, and like, you know, and he's in his interview, he's like got his like as clean a uniform as you possibly can have on, and he's like, they're like, so what's it like to be shot? He's like, oh, it's like getting kicked by Chuck Norris. And they're like, interview's over. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, Jesus Christ.
Totally
dude.
just fucked with them.
Yeah, they're like, dude, you just got shot. And he's just like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
right.
I can tell what it feels like to get shot.
And that's what I'm saying. They didn't even ask the dude who really got shot. But like,
who took the round.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, and I think after having conversations before I left with Lou, that was his biggest problem. Like, credit was not given.
Dude, that was
due.
Like,
like active duty hated the fact that fucking some National Guard dudes went in there and laid more hate than they did, accomplished more. Like,
dude, we used to have fucking like command sergeant majors show up on Little Bird, right? And so what they did, they set up these speakers around the fence, and they would play the Death Star music.
Yeah.
Every time they would come, they would literally be like, there's no fucking way the National Guard is gonna have this fucking AO. There was a fucking Taliban training camp right in the fucking AO. You know what I mean? We're constantly just like fucking like setting rounds back and forth, dude.
Yeah, we like on Zormat, we had a battery of Rakkasans, so 101st. That's who we ultimately fell under, and like, because we were giving them so many fire missions, I feel like that was the only reason that like some 101st fucking infantry company didn't come in and like, well, they were like, yeah, no, we're busy. Like, these guys are keeping us busy. Like they're not fucking ate up. Like we're fucking firing rounds, guys. Like, I think everything's good, but like, I can't remember that sergeant major's name, but like, he did like a battle space tour, and like, dude, he couldn't even land at our base. Like, he started getting fucking taking rounds, and they were just like, fucking pop out.
Because he was on probably like
he was on two
Chinook, right? So like, it's a fucking school bus.
Flying
He's gotta get fucking blown the fuck out.
Two 260s and a fucking Chinook, and like,
you're gonna die.
Yeah. Like,
dude, very easy to hit that slow motherfucker.
There's a reason they only come at night here.
I wrote Lou's eulogy, and I actually included that. Like, that was the thing that ate him up, dude. That for the longest time, for a while, I want to say he made peace with it, but like, the fact that like, because Lou's not kind of attention seeker, but for the work we put in,
he's an attention seeker for like not an attention seeker,
Yes.
but he's like he
likes-
wants the real fucking shit.
Yes.
He wants
like
the
done.
he wants the light, and then he wants it to go away.
Yeah.
When it comes to war, he wants if he earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other shit shenanigans, like he likes being the loud guy, right? But like,
Did you
bothered
listen
him.
to the one when I was talking about him?
I just thought about when we were on the top of Mount Musalaki and Lou was in the corner of some rocks, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, Lamoureux had the muscle milk.
Muscle
Yeah,
He had
the muscle milk. Yeah.
We're not even like 20 minutes into the movement up Musalaki, and he's just like out his nose.
Lambro.
Lou, like, so I was on T1 with Shimkus and fucking Lewis, B-Stick. Oh fuck, I forgot the other kid's name, but he was kind of like one of those, like, he was an admin guy after Deech. What was his name? Anyways, and we're fucking standing up there, and like Lou wasn't on my team, but he comes over and like we're all at the summit, and he's fucking behind a rock, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, yo, I'm putting that cream on my fucking wart. And I'm like, what's up? And then, like, of course, everybody's like, tell the story, Lou's like, all right, so I
At
was
the top of the mountain on September 11th. We always went September 11th.
Yeah.
It should be a tradition, dude. Like, we'll open one beer for a fall in. This one's for Lou.
For Lou.
We'll put that over there.
There we go.
And yeah, no, fucking Lou. But yes, like, we had so many conversations about just like, and I was really happy when B-Stick got his Valor attached to his RCOM for a tick he was in, and like, like there should have been a lot more like handed out to human beings on that deployment, but at least someone in B6 platoon cared enough to be like, no, like, sure, downgrade it from a BSM, but like, it's everybody got fucking RCOMs and everybody didn't do what he did, so like, fucking make it right. And there wasn't enough, and I truly, honestly, only think it was because it was a guard unit. Like, no colonel was like, I don't have that award.
Yeah.
There's no way a specialist can have.
Did you guys have a Navy or Air Force commander?
Well, not on our first one. We were straight Army.
No, they were straight Army, yeah.
But even
The first one.
even on my last deployment, I like not a Valor, but I was supposed to get like the joint NATO RCOM, and I got to put in for a Bronze Star because of how many movements and who we were protecting, and like there was some like logistical stuff that like from being in Kabul on a deployment before like made me an asset to the team. But the medic, I won't say his name because you guys know him, on that deployment, like, wasn't qualified to get one, and he threw such a fucking hissy fit about it. Like, well, I want what they get, and like it literally like caused such a ruckus in the command that they were like, what the fuck? Like, fuck all of you guys, and like, who the fuck is this kid? Never heard of him, but like, sorry guys, like, you can go fucking talk to this fucking knuckle dick. Like, he's the one who fucked you, and it's just like, I don't care anyways, but like, damn, what a bitch. Like,
I just can't stand like some of the awards, like, oh, so officers just get more higher awards.
Bronze Star
Like just,
showing up.
just
Like,
for
just-
being
yeah.
just for
Just
being a
because?
commander.
You get a
like-
Bronze Star off rep just
Like,
showing up.
Okay, cool.
not taking away from some commander's job.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. No,
I
it's
definitely
it
didn't
sucks.
want it,
But
but
like,
like,
you know,
It's
like,
the truth. It's the fucking truth.
but like you should
like-
you shouldn't get it when like you're not doing anything with it.
it's
you know,
it's like that. Like, do you know where your child is? Like, well, it's have you talked
It's
to
9 p.m. Do you know where your child is?
Yeah, it's like, have you talked to your team leader today and asked him what he did? Like,
Right.
you'll be like, worst job in the Army right there, bud.
yeah.
Thanks for doing it good, though.
Can we take a quick call?
Yeah, of course.
Head call.
Yeah, man, I cut it right there. Bathroom right over there.
The
Combatives. There it is. There's
like
the word.
throwing them out. Like,
Right.
I remember, like, and everybody's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we gotta like beat each other up, like throwing tasers in the fucking gig
Right,
pit,
and,
and like
yeah.
dive on it, Rangers. Fucking
Right.
first one to get fucking whacked with that thing loses, and you're
Yeah.
like, no holds barred. It's like,
Right.
Okay.
hold on, dude, I have 63 more days of this school, and like you're telling me like I'm about to fight to the death or get tasered. Like,
Yeah.
are you fucking out of your mind?
I'll take a taser. I'll take a.
And then
I'll
I
take a
remember,
zap.
I remember in mountains they were like,
It's a good massage.
they're like, all right, Rangers, we're all right, everybody find a fucking area in the wood line. And you're like, what is about to happen? And they're like, match up with your ranger buddy. Like, all right, we're gonna go over the hip toss, and you're like, I remember just getting like back breaking over fucking like stumps coming out of the ground.
Oh my god!
Like, all right, yeah, no problem. I'll hump my rucksack for another 10 days.
That's probably not the smartest training evolution.
But it's just like crazy. Like, and I truly think like losing the Army's PT test and like hearing shit like that is like the fucking military is failing guys, like failing them on the home front with fucking getting the help they need, and like they're not doing guys who could potentially get thrown into war any fucking help either. Like
too many chiefs, not enough.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a cycle. Like, so, okay, let's say our next big war happens, right?
Oh, Sunday? You're talking about Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like, okay, this next big war happens, and we all go do the thing, and then, like, all these people get out, and then it's a better army, and then it goes back to the thing. Like, it's because it is political when you ever get to a point. Like, it really is. Like, it's more political than like any of us would even imagine.
But I think even like before that, like being a guard, lieutenant, captain, like whatever, like even like in E6, like you're so worried about your guard career moving forward. Like active duty, they're like, no man, like I'm here for 4 years, like.
Make my 4 and
my 4. I'm done. Like some of these dudes are like, man, no, I owe no matter what 6 years to the guard. Like I'm only gonna do one deployment. Like I can't risk losing a guy's, like having a horrible incident happen overseas. Like I gotta protect my career. Like there was way too much of that. Like second and third deployment. Like too many guys are like, whoa. Like. There's a lot of like eyes on us. Like we gotta like. It's just like, what don't you get where we're at?
When we get like when we got overseas, like the fucking ROE was insane.
Yeah.
Like I remember we had a fucking dude like standing there with a fucking trigger, like, and he was like, okay, yeah. And I remember like I was like, fucking kill him. And then, like, because I remember, like, the fucking gunner in the turret, like, I was in the back, I was the fucking team leader, and I was like, fucking shoot him.
Do your job.
And then, like, the fucking sergeant major or whatever was like, no, or the colonel or whoever the fuck was riding with
in the
that
school
day
bus with you
was like, oh no, and and like, so the dude walked away.
But
fucking walked away.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like,
I'm just like,
so the Rhino
let's cover your
defeated
ass.
his fucking setup.
No, like he was fucking ready to blow us, like, and fucking.
Yeah, but was it defeated by Ewo? Like the
Oh no! This dude
the
was.
Rhino was the one in front. What was the other?
Jammers.
No, it was mostly us, just like it was mostly us trying to like fucking shoot him, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave now," like, and he fucking walked away. Motherfucker walked away.
But like I remember in 2010 when I like say Wild West, like we would get into ticks and then call it all up. Right. Be like, okay, yes.
You've been doing this for half an hour.
Yeah, like or longer. Like some days was like I'm talking about like the sun came up, they found out where we were, and it didn't stop until we fucking either had to like move back and consolidate. They ran out of ammo. Like we fucking brought in a bomb. We brought in fucking AWT, like something like.
But that's the thing. It was like almost better that way. Like I feel like when we had our deployment, like it was like, oh, we can't just shoot and kill people. Like that's terrible. Like you can't do that. Like, and it was just that was almost worse because like you know how you talk about like fucking butt pucker, like when you fucking go over like waddies or whatever the fuck you like, you know, you're riding in a fucking step. You know, and you're always on this edge or whatever, and you don't get to release that edge. Like you're just like
but then you become timid, and then you're like shit. Do I? Like and
it's fucking terrible.
And
it's
what
awful.
do they say? Like you hesitate, you die, right? Like, but like
So,
even the worst people on my first deployment were better than some of the best people on my second and third deployments because they knew their jobs. There was no like, oh, we're going to talk about that later. It's just like, yeah, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you a hug and a high five. You know, like,
but that's the thing is that, and I feel like that, like, okay, yeah, if we have another war, like that, like it'll like recycle. You know what I mean? Like,
What do you think the media access should be in war? Because I think the more media, the more dangerous our jobs would be.
yeah, but I think even the next war, like, there's never gonna be an Afghanistan again. Like, we're never gonna have a fucking Vietnam or Afghanistan or like anything like that again. Like, it's all gonna be
Evo.
like, yeah, but it's always gonna be like, okay, so perfect example, like Russia right now, right? They're gonna go into Ukraine, right? We're gonna send in a bunch of like stuff to Ukraine. We're not gonna go into Ukraine.
Well, today
Like, we're
they
not going to do anything.
So we have 1,700.
Well, they're in Romania and they're in fucking all these other places.
3,000.
Oh, has anybody ever been to that base in Romania?
I
Yeah,
haven't. Have you?
Fucking dope.
yeah, it's pretty.
Where is it?
It's in Romania.
Romania,
I've been in Romania, but
They had that
It's right near the Black Sea.
the mountain
Yeah.
exchange, there.
dude.
no.
It's awesome.
Only one dude in his Air Force is active duty there. Everybody else is like it's like basically another Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, it's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
it's,
Oh,
it's
we were
great
there
time.
together.
Yeah, we went there. Yeah,
And like you're fucking walking around, it's like you can smell the ocean breeze. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's
dude,
fucking cool.
This is sick. Like it was one of the like Covell and fucking Robillard and like all of us were like, we're gonna work like let's
We're
look
moving
up,
here.
Yeah, let's
Dude,
look up like
some of the women in
places.
Kyrgyzstan,
so
beautiful.
we went there in
Angelina Jolie,
2019.
dark
Yes.
hair.
We did
Yes.
we did an AT
Yes.
into Romania, and then we got like 6-hour pass, like while we were there. Dude, best
Off
time.
base?
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, best time ever. Like, I swam in the Black Sea, like fucking did a bunch of other shit, drank a bunch of beer, like, and then got back on the bus and like went, like, and
Get
it
some
was
caviar, beluga
dude,
caviar.
it was awesome. And like I remember like I took out like $100 or $200, and I was like, oh yeah, like this will, this is good enough or whatever for
Last
everything.
at night.
Dude, no. I came back with 100, like, because
really?
it's so cheap.
cheap.
Everything's cheap.
That cheap.
Like, so
Right.
cheap. And like the dudes are like feeding us booze like everywhere we went and stuff. Like, dude, Romania is awesome, and like the Black Sea, amazing. Like, and you're literally like swimming in the Black Sea, and like Russia's like over there, like it's literally like
across.
right across.
So-
like, and you're just like, yeah.
This camera's gonna die any minute. I think we should close it out. Are there any last remarks you want to have for however
Well,
I
hey,
wrap this
so
video?
I think big shout out to Ranger Charters. I think
Ranger Charters.
that's
yeah. Everyone check them out.
yeah, check it out and figure that out. I think I'm gonna hit up Ian and fucking go fishing.
We're gonna try to do a podcast from the boat.
From the boat.
from the boat.
Legit. I'll put a trash bag on this thing, but
Yeah.
I'll put the link on the website.
And then
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I mean it's so small. We'd be so convinced. Like you could probably just put a microphone on that camera.
Keep
We'll figure it out
Yeah.
logistics.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll
but
make it happen.
yeah, big thanks to Ian Lateo for coming on, Mike
Thanks for
Long.
having me.
Hey, big obviously we're fucking all old friends, but it's pretty good to have everybody
Yeah,
around.
nice little reunion
It's
for
good.
the Lurs.
Yeah.
Feels good.
So
Good old
maybe
days.
we could do it like a real Lurs reunion, like a man dance.
We
like,
need to.
legit.
Yeah,
man
I don't
dance.
really feel like I'm part of the Lurs. I came in with just endings, to be honest. So
Yeah, you were in Dominican, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as long as you hit the Dominican, you're part of the Lurs.
that was a crazy one.
That was like the Lurs send off. That Dominican trip.
It's crazy.
That was a good.
I wasn't even on that one. I was at Benning.
Yeah, I was at Airborne
Oh,
School,
you were
I
at
think.
WTC.
Yeah.
I think I was at Airborne School.
I left in September
fuck.
of
You
2008.
guys.
I went
When,
to
when the camera goes off, I'll show you. I'll tell you the first story I remember meeting up here.
I went to Puerto Rico, the one after it. And that was my first
Puerto
like
Rico
AT.
was a good time, too.
That was a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
In not Boca Chica, Ponce.
Ponce. Yeah.
But shout out to you guys for doing shit like this.
Yeah,
for
fuck yeah.
vets.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
RIOG.
Yeah.
Thanks.
If
Yeah, we haven't figured out a name for the podcast yet. So if you got any
Yeah,
suggestions,
I was kind of like
Please let
fucking
us
around with
know.
this name, the Barnyard. I know it doesn't make any sense or it is any fun, but when we were deployed, Lou referred to the bee hut next to us as the Barnyard because he would get in there, they would go wild. Because me and Lou, we live in the same bee hut, but like, I just want to read my book, man. That's all I wanted to do. You know, Lou.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, I'm going to go to the Barnyard, leave the fucking library. Me and Lou was got to fight several times, man.
Dude, me and Lou did get into a fight when Voda was there. I brought him to a party one time, and we ruined a kid's pool. Lou tackled me through like one of those
man.
shitty ass fucking.
I remember this story.
And like, dude, I was just like, Lou, what the fuck is your problem? And Vo's like, all right, we're just gonna get out of here. Like,
I can see that.
and Lou's all got his shirt off, and like my high school friends were like, what did you bring to this house? And I was like, that's a bad human being.
Some
Right there.
demons.
I was like, that's a bad human being right there, folks.
Yeah. Well, hey, cheers to Lou.
Cheers.
Like, I think,
All right, guys.
Baldy.
Mike,
Fucking
thank you so
Mike,
much for coming
Ian,
on. We'll have you get some
fucking good
time, and
stuff.
we'll
Yeah,
hear
for
some more of
sure.
your story for sure.
Absolutely.